Wearing a sad expression, Hanyuu pointed at Keiichi. Yeah, this is why I was dreading about this arc. I finally noticed something. Well, my friends had noticed already. Except for Keiichi. Keiichi, what's that floating in front of your chest? What do you mean? Is this? Time had stopped just when Keiichi was about to hit his opponent. He then realized that something was floating in front of his heart. It was metallic silver cone. That was the first thing I could think of. No, Kei-chan! What the hell is this? Is this a bullet? It's exactly what it was. Yeah, they could overcome the ones with the weapons in a sneak attack, but full on, there's no chance they can, fight off like a group of trained assassins when they've got their weapons pointed at them, like. The bullet had stopped about 15 centimeters away from Keiichi's chest just before it would enter his body. That's right. Once time starts moving again, it will slam into his chest. How is time so slowed down for everyone, then? In other words, it's too late. Keiichi will immediately die when time starts up again. Who shot it? Those 6 guys didn't have any guns. Look, over there by the van. Over there by the van. Sudoku couldn't point at the van. Time had completely stopped after all. We could see another person standing near the van. There had actually been 7 people inside, not 6. Yeah, they are, they've got the large numbers game here, and they're all armed and prepared. Well, the other 6 weren't, but they probably had weapons in the van. And the other 6 couldn't, get to the van without, drawing attention to themselves and turn their back and get attacked. So the 7th one had to step in. The 7th person was the one who fired the bullets. We hadn't seen her at all. That person is someone we all know very well. Oh, it's that bitch. Yes, it's Takano. It's Takano-san. She shot the gun. She shot Keiichi. In a frozen world, Takano was smiling, still aiming her gun at Keiichi. Fucking witch. Takano had been watching us from the van this whole time. She came out and fired her gun, knowing that we hadn't seen her at all. Oh yeah, I thought that was Takano. I see, I get it now. So Takano-san was the bad guy all along. What are we going to do? Kei-chan, can't you try and twist your body to avoid the bullets? Why is time, literally stopped for everyone here? I mean, he'd be dead, right now, instantly. They wouldn't be able to have this reaction, all these thoughts, say all these things. He'd be on the ground dead by now. Don't be stupid, time has totally stopped. I can't move at all. This is frickin' weird. Did Hanyuu do this? I mean, if she did, how the fuck did she do it? Then try moving right as soon as time starts moving again. That might make a difference. This is really weird. Everyone is desperate to save Keiichi. It's a tragic moment for damn sure, but I feel like this whole time stop thing kind of takes away from it a bit. However, no matter how hard we fought, we couldn't come up with any ideas to save him from the bullets. We were so desperate that Keiichi started to laugh. I really don't know what's going on, but there's nothing that can be done. I'm dead the minute time starts moving again. Even if I don't die, I won't be of any help to you guys anymore. So listen, just give up on me. You only need to think about taking these guys down and getting inside of the van. Never, you can't die. I don't want to lose you. Hanyuu, are you telling me this that this is my fate? Are you saying that there's no way to overcome this? It's okay, Rika. You won't remember this. You won't. Yeah, that kind of implies that Hanyuu's known all this all along. Either all along or she too forgets. No, Kei-chan is not going to die. Stop with me, Chan. Let's concentrate on taking them down. I'm sure Keiichi wouldn't want us spending time turning back to him as he falls. That's exactly how I feel, Renner. Guys, take care of Rika-chan. Get out here and contact Coach. They probably killed Oishi-san. That's why he never showed up. Listen, promise you'll all survive. Promise me. Keiichi! I can't even tell who's talking at this point. Rika-chan, I'm sorry. I'm the one who told you that we could change destiny, but I'm gonna have to retire now. It sounded just like Takano's regular laugh, but it was the scariest noise I've ever heard. Are you ready to let go of your life now? Who's saying that? I understand we haven't lost just yet. Don't unwatching your life flash before your eyes. She is a sadist. I fucking hate her. The silence suddenly ended and the clamor of reality returns. You know, it's like obvious that this arc's not going to end well. But in the next arc, it's like we're going to get more insight into why Takano is the way she is. And just the way the next arc started when I read it back in the day, I was so pissed off. Because it's just like, you'll see what I mean as we go further through the ending here. But I did read that, right? Then suddenly ended and the clamor of reality returns. And you know it's a depressing moment when this music plays. Well, even without it, this is a depressing scenario. An explosive sound then hit Keiichi straight in the chest. I watched Keiichi collapse right in front of me. He fell down on his back while his blood splattered everywhere. And after that, he stopped moving. There's no way any of us weren't shocked by that. We tried to take down the foes in front of us, but more came from behind. We tried to struggle as best we could, but there was no way we could win against all those adults. I did my best to fight them off, but they pulled out my hair and picked me up as if I weighed nothing. Heard everyone's desperate screams of resistance. The comforting and courageous unity we showed right before Keiichi was shot shattered like glass. The debris of that glass lay sadly on the ground. Takano's annoying laughter was still echoing inside my ears. Takano to HQ, I've taken care of it. I need what I told you before. I also need someone to clean up the bodies. Send me 5 bags and some water to clean up the area. Understand? She needs 5 bags? My body froze up, but time did not. Takano laughed, pointing her gun at Mion's head. Hey, are you kidding me? I've always wanted to see the tattoo on your back. I'm going to take a peek at it later. Sure, have a look if you want. It's nothing special. Oh, you don't think I'll find it interesting? Stop, don't shoot her! Takano shook her head in response to Rena's scream. I have to kill her. She's the leader of your club, so she has to go first. Oh, stop. There was a dull noise followed by Mion's body twitching. We all tried to break free from the man restrained us as Takano calmly shot Mion. However, they were too strong and all we could do was squirm like insects. Takano was enjoying watching us struggle. Fucking sadistic, twisted bitch. She then stepped towards Sadoko, but Mion started screaming curses at her. My, you want to be shot before her. You could have stayed alive a few more seconds if you were nice and quiet. Stop it, Shion-san! Don't agitate like that! I know why she's doing that. Shion wants to protect Sadoko for as long as she can. She's trying to do what Satoshi told her to. Takano didn't care one whit for Shion's feelings. Stepping over Keiichi's body, she approached Shion. I get it now. You killed Satoshi-kun, didn't you? Isn't that the truth? Sorry, I don't like giving out secrets, so I'll not tell. Oh. Shien's body twitched. That had followed the dull sound of another gunshot. Just 2 dull sounds had stolen away the lively Sonozaki sisters. Didn't add up. I started shaking from fear when it hit me just how easily Takano can take away lives. Is that amusing for you to take away innocent lives? You monster! Oh, so you want to die next? You were going to be the last one if you stayed quiet. Keiichi, Mion, and Chian died. The oldest one of us left was Rena. Rena didn't want to see Stoke and me die before she did. So you were the culprit behind the series of mysterious deaths in Hinmizawa. You think you're Oyashiro-sama's proxy or something? I'm not a proxy. I'm handing out divine punishment. It's too bad that you're not going to see it. Soon enough, Oyashiro-sama's wrath is going to destroy the whole village. I'm the one who's going to make that happen. It's my curse. Yes, I'm going to become Oyashiro-sama. I'm going to become something more than human. You'll never understand how I feel. You'll never understand how wonderful it is to become a god. You fricking god-complex witchy bitch, fuck you! I don't think that's possible. No matter how much you try to become Oyashiro-sama, it won't work. It's just a game for you. You'll never become Oyashiro-sama. I will. The process has already begun. Rena laughed at her. Takano seemed very upset to hear that laugh. Yeah, at least, deny Takano the satisfaction. What's so funny? It's impossible. Because Oyashiro-sama is already here. And she's not wrong either. Those were Rena's last words. Oh wait! I'm wondering now. Maybe she could see Hanyuu or sense Hanyuu's presence because the stress of this situation has triggered the Hinamizawa syndrome to go to a higher level so she could actually detect Hanyuu's presence. That's an interesting thought, actually. Well, it's your turn, Sudoku-chan. I don't really care if you live or die, but you're a living research sample. Tokyo has a bounty on capturing you alive. But it's not very much. My share would run out with just a trip to Europe. If I capture you alive, nothing good will happen to you anyway. They'll probably open up your skull and probe through your brain while you're still alive. Besides, I was your friend. I think it might be kinder to shoot you dead right here. Which would you prefer? I can't say that. Suka shouted back at her. Her eyes were full of tears. Let's do a quiz then. Which one is green? Broccoli or cauliflower? It's broccoli. As soon as I heard that same dull sound, Stoker stopped moving. Takano smiled and said, "Good girl," to what used to be Satoko. This really is such a lovely and beautiful night. Don't you agree? So, you're going to kill me too? Yes, I will kill you. The corpse of the Queen Carrier is the key to this mission. You're going to become an ugly political tool far away in Tokyo. And then the legend of Onikafuchi will finally come to an end. I know how you're planning to kill me. Oh, you do? Let's hear it. I'm not going to say it, but I know. It's Watanagashi. Oh, good God. Yeah, it makes sense. That one time in one arc where Keiichi and Stoker stumbled upon her body, she had been ritualistically cut up. No wonder why she never remembers her own death, because that's too horrifying. Jesus Christ. Takano is one sadistic motherfucker. She wants to do the real Watanagashi using my body. I'm sure she's planned to cut open my stomach and pull out my guts. To do that, she'll make me inhale some chemical to put me to sleep. I vaguely remember that part. Okay, so she does vaguely remember little pieces from her past. I guess you already know. Good night, Rika-chan. One of the dogs approached me with a handkerchief soaked in a chemical substance. Wait a minute, Takano. Everybody's dead, but you're begging for your life. That's not it. If you're gonna kill me, do it without putting me to sleep. Oh, Takano hadn't expected to hear that. She got... Wait, this must be it. She's willing to endure the absolute agony of dying in that way while conscious so that she'll remember it. Jesus Christ. Still, even though she was surprised, she nodded with a slight smile. Hanyuu was also surprised to hear that. It would obviously be a terrible way to die. What are you thinking? Wouldn't you prefer an easy and painless death? You know it's going to be horrible, right? I'm going to cut open your stomach while you're still alive. I don't want to forget about it. Yes, I'm doing this so I'll remember. I'm not going to forget about it. The picture of you cutting open my stomach will be forever burned into my soul. I'm never going to forget that. Next time I see you, I'll remember that you did this to me. What are you cooking up in your little head? I guess you're smarter than the other kids. At least you'd get to have a chance to scream for your life. I'm not going to let you do that, though. They forced something other than the handkerchief inside of my mouth. It was a gag. With that on, I couldn't close my mouth, leading my saliva to start overflowing. Soon another van arrived. More mad dogs came out of it. You know what? I know they just trained assassins and all that, but how the fuck would any of those motherfuckers be able to sleep at night after the shit they freaking did? That's just fucked up. They'd probably come to get rid of the bodies. They grabbed the corpses of my friends and stuffed them into body bags. After that, they sprayed a bunch of water on the ground to clean up the blood. They asked Takano how many shots she fired and started looking around for the bullets. They were erasing all the evidence. By the time the night was over, there'd be no more proof left. They pulled my hands behind my back and bound them with handcuffs. My ankles were tied up too. They also tied my ankles and wrists together. My body was bent like a shrimp and I was no longer able to walk. My mouth was covered so I couldn't even talk. I couldn't move, talk, or express myself in any other way. They had taken away everything that made me human. Therefore, I wasn't human anymore. I was just a toy named Rika for a day, a toy to give Takano joy. The car started moving. It seemed like we were going back the way we came, but I didn't care anymore. As the time of my death approached, some of my forgotten memories came back to me. That's right, I was killed like this so many times. Every time I repeated my life, Takano got pleasure out of killing me. Somehow, some boy rubbed my head. Were they trying to comfort me? Some boy? Should it be somebody? I shook my head to try and refuse. They laughed at me as I did so. Rika. Hanyuu showed up. She couldn't hold back her devastated tears. Again, it didn't work. It didn't work again. Again. When I saw Hanyuu's painful tears, I was convinced. I was wrong. Hanyuu is not just a bystander. She's just too scared to face reality because she can't stand the pain anymore. Yeah, she obviously remembers every single time, and that's why she has no hope. Hanyuu wants a happy future too, but her hopes were betrayed countless times and she was hurt far too much. For some reason, seeing her sorrowful expression calmed me down. Perhaps Hanyuu was crying in my place. It's okay, Hanyuu. We did what we could. We worked very hard. We were getting so close to changing our fate for real. It still didn't work out, but for some reason, I feel satisfied. I've never fought this hard in my life. I've never learned so many things. Because I can repeat my life endlessly, I've been taking each one for granted. But everyone else is taking their lives seriously. I wasn't learning anything because I wasn't doing that. But I finally understand. I learned something from this life and I put all my effort into it. So I'm sad that I didn't make it, but I feel satisfied just the same. It's a strange kind of satisfaction. I wonder how many of these memories I can keep. I get the sense that I'm going to lose my memory of this evening. If that's the case, I will lose my memory of seeing Takano's freaking bitchy ass fuck face. I finally found out that Takano is the mastermind. I'm going to repeat the same world again, not knowing the truth. She killed my friends as if she were merely killing some bugs. I don't want to forget that. No matter how hard my death will be, I need to remember Takano's face. Hanyuu, I'm not going to give up. I don't care if I can't recall this memory. I'll continue to live my life. I don't care if I can only live in this June, that eventually I will only be able to go back to the night of Watanagashi. That's my life, so be it. I'm not going to forget either. If you don't remember, I'll tell you the truth. Hanyuu, I knew it. You acted like an unfeeling bystander, but that's because you were afraid of this pain. I also want to have a happy future with everyone. Hanyuu started to cry like a baby. She's so stupid. She decided to abandon hope because she didn't want to deal with the sadness that she always felt on this night. But she ended up hurt and devastated anyway. Hanyuu, are you happy that this world is ending just like you predicted? I decided not to ask her such an unpleasant question. I'd just be rubbing her face in it. The car stopped and 2 men pulled me out of the vehicle. We had returned to the Fruity Shrine. There were several men waiting in front of the observatory box. Nearby, there were countless sharp knives laid out on the ground. They're going to cut open my stomach with those tools and put out my intestines. They took off all my clothes. They left the gag inside my mouth and the handcuffs around my wrists. I wasn't embarrassed to be naked in front of them. While I was just furious that Takano was getting joy out of doing this to me. Don't forget this humiliation. The pain I'm about to experience should be carved into my soul forever. I'm not going to forget this. Everyone worked together and we finally revealed who was behind it all. If I forget this, my friends' efforts and deaths will have been in vain. I need to stay alive as long as I can so that I will remember the pain. Hanyuu, don't look away. You have to watch. Remember this forever. Oh, is this really the only way I can help you? Is this all I can do because I can't touch or talk to anyone? That's good enough. If you continue to stare at me, I can endure this pain. Hanyuu nodded and sat right next to me while continuing to cry. I mean, Hanyuu's experienced this like over 100 years of repeating this scenario, but even before that, like in ancient times, well, maybe not ancient, but, you know, she was there all along during the time where the villagers actually did this shit legitimately, like. So, she's seen this shit happen and it can't be pleasant. And when I sat around and continued to cry, we then looked up at the night sky together. The moon was shining brightly, as if it's taking pity upon me. We also looked at the faces of my murderers. This bit of the track just sounds too cheerful for such a scene. That beautiful moon was gradually stained red. But I guess it fits Higurashi. It's twisted like that, isn't it? It's like it's got happy moments and then fucked up moments like this. It's getting cold. It's so painful. I'm consumed with a fear of not being able to do anything about this. But Hanyuu is right next to me. That gives me comfort. Maybe that's why this track is playing. It's like, it's melancholic, yet has a warm quality to it. It's not just Hanyuu either. Everyone is here with me. Everyone is there watching me so I can stand this torture. That's why it wasn't painful. I didn't struggle. I didn't care about Takano's crazy laughter. This was such a wonderful world. We didn't overcome this fate, but I have no regrets. Of course, I'm still sad and disappointed. My future was right in front of my eyes. My hand could almost reach it. Even so, we did what we could. I have to be proud of myself. Keiichi voiced his disagreement. He still felt that we could have done more. We were almost there. We almost defeated this fate. We didn't win, but not because our enemies were strong. We didn't win because we didn't try hard enough. But all of you worked so hard together. I was watching. I saw the whole thing. And now this is surreal right here. But it wasn't enough. We had a will strong enough to overcome this fate. We should have created a miracle. That's right. A miracle will happen if everyone believes in it. I mean, is this their spirits now? Snuka, Rika-chan, and everyone else worked so hard. Sorry, Rika. You were brave enough to ask us for help, but I couldn't save you. I mean, are they seeing Rika getting this horrific death? Snuka held my shoulder and cried. That's true, everyone worked so hard, but it still didn't work out. Thank you. Thank you all so much. I'm going to die again, but I've never felt so good about it. I've learned so many things in this world. Rika-chan, I know. I know why the miracle didn't happen in this world. Rena spoke gently, but she wasn't smiling at all. Well, that looks like a smile to me, but that's just a character portrait. Hey, did everyone really believe that we could create a miracle? If you're hoping for a future, but not everyone believes in it, then a miracle won't happen. What are you saying, Rena? We were united. No one had doubts that we could overcome this fate. Right, Mion? Yeah, he's right, Rena. Everyone thought we could overcome it. Everyone believed that we could. It's quite true. Even Rika believed in it. If I believed that with our help we could change our destiny. I believed in it too, but I think there was someone who didn't believe. Gee, I wonder who. Who's that? What? Who can it be? Hey, you. Rena turned to Hanyuu and asked her a question. This is surreal, seeing the other characters interacting with Hanyuu. And this must obviously be happening, like, in the story they're actually there, in some kind of spirit-like form it seems, and interacting with Hanyuu. This is weird. Rena turned to Hanyuu and asked her a question. Did you believe that we could overcome this fate? I mean, she really was the only one who didn't. Even if you can't talk to us or touch us, you can still believe. If you'd believed in us, the miracle would have happened. Would someone really have changed if I believed? I'm a powerless existence, I can't do anything. All I can do is watch and accept. You're saying that I could have made a miracle happen just by believing. You know, it'd be really surreal if Oishi just popped up in spirit form as well. Like, well, I won't be able to remember this in the next world, but fuck. We'll get that son of a bitch. Yeah, you could have. Keiichi stated it clearly. He wasn't trying to blame her, he was just stating the truth. I wonder if this is going to be... if I'm going to be able to split this into two parts well enough where it's like, you know, it doesn't feel abrupt between, you know. Otherwise, part that's ending might end up being uploaded in November, and I really don't want that to happen. Because that would just, like, be an ultimate cliffhanger, you know? That's right, there were 6 of us, and there were 7 of them. If you'd believed along as we would have numbered 7 souls, the miracle could have happened. You don't make miracles happen by touching something or saying something. You make them happen by believing. Sounded like a wah pedal there. Hanyuu had realized that this ending wasn't caused by fate. It was because she didn't believe. In other words, this happened because she was so weak as to accept this fate. She started crying again. We don't even know your name, but you still needed to be brave enough to fight this fear and pain. You needed to have the courage to defeat fate. If you'd believed we'd be moving on to the bright future, your refusal to believe in it is the sole reason we couldn't reach it, then responsibility is yours. It was hard to believe Rena could say something so harsh. Her words were piercing Hanyuu's heart, but those words were necessary for me and for her. Only faith can create a miracle. It sounds like something you might hear in a fairy tale. It's not easy to put it into action. People suspect others, they don't trust others. It's easier to not have hope. So difficult to believe. That's why faith can make miracles happen. This is gonna be like, oh yeah, Higurashi is like, it's a Christian story. It's like, you gotta believe in God, but in the Christian faith, or maybe a different one. But I find it kind of weird wording like that, because isn't Hanyuu technically a god in the world of Higurashi? She's freaking all your shit, Sama. Don't you realize that I can't even touch people? Don't you realize that I can't even speak to them? You still think I can make a miracle happen just by believing in something? Listen, you're talking to me right now, isn't that fucking surreal? Like, I've never talked to you before, but I always knew you were there. I was always thinking about how I could communicate with you.
I always knew you were watching us when we were all having fun hanging out together.
I wonder if maybe Rena has always kind of been, like, somewhere, like, around level L3, Hinmizawa syndrome or what. She definitely sensed her presence in the previous arc. You know, when Rena started to go crazy.
But even if I ought to be involved, you guys can't see me or hear my voice. You'd think that I'm a monster or something. I don't want people to think of me as a monster.
We'd never think of that way, except, you know, in Onikakushi where Keiichi sensed a presence and thought that it was like, just like, get away, what the fuck, shit is all your shit, and Rena, much the same in the previous answer arc, which was the answer arc to Onikakushi, I might also add. If you're with us, you're our friend. But I guess they've grown as characters, with them maintaining some faint memories from previous worlds.
Yeah, we wouldn't call our friend a monster.
It's your heart that determines whether you're a monster or not, right, Shion? It's just so surreal because in past arcs, half these characters have done horrific things. Indeed. I guess I'm more like a monster in that sense. Yeah, in one of those worlds.
You won't call me a monster even though I have horns on my head.
I mean, that's a stupid reason. I mean, they don't even look all that bad. Like,
we won't call you that just because of the way you look. They're actually cute, you know.
Watch out for Rena. She might try and take you home. By the horns. I realized then that I was standing with everyone looking down at my own body. I guess she's dead now then? I see. Finally dead. She's probably like, well, that took longer than I expected. It's like about time got out with. I looked at my bloody body by my feet. The upset me that Takano was still enjoying the torture, but the body that remained was nothing but a shell. Are you okay, Rika-chan? I guess they are in spirit form. They were looking over her as she died. Like comforting her and, you know, lamenting, is that the word? The fact that they couldn't, you know, defeat fate and the reasons why they weren't able to overcome it.
Don't you think it's a bit strange to ask that question to a dead person?
I mean, don't you think this whole scene's a bit weird, Rika? Everyone smiled dryly. It's my first time feeling so much love in death. Everyone is already dead. That's why I feel so happy to be dead, to join them. It's like suddenly the world got darker and my body started to sink downwards. I could feel myself disappearing. Still had a sensation of my friend's hands on mine. It's like if sorry guys again transition to the next world. Join me there. Let's go, everyone. Yeah, let's go. You're also one of us. Come on, stop crying. Let's go. I can't tell who's talking. My vision had gone dark, but somehow I could still see. Rena offered her hand to Hanyuu, and Hanyuu slowly took it. Okay, that's Rika then.
You're also one of us. Come on, stop crying and let's go.
Hanyuu, I don't know what sad expressions you had before we met. I'm sure my friends will accept you.
Is it still going to be funny if I'm involved? Are you sure they'll accept me?
Yes, so come along with us. Rena touched Hanyuu's hand. Felt like everyone else laid their hands on top of you. If only they had hands to do so. Let's go, Hanyuu. Let's accept this sorrow, so we can embrace joy as well. Believe in the bright future that's waiting for us. The miracle will happen. We will obtain it. Okay. Yes, Hanyuu said with a definite nod. We will take down that motherfucking Takano! What's outside the well? Is it something worth fighting for? What's outside the well? Is it something worth getting hurt for? What's outside the well? I'm going to fight and get hurt in order to find that out. I'm sure what's waiting is a beautiful world, even if I get to the bottom of the well again. The key to the new world is my willingness to get out of here, even if I can get out or not. I will eventually get to the new world. Higurashi, When They Cry, Chapter 7. Minagoroshi staff credits. Come to think of it, I don't think any of the other arcs had a credit sequence. Now, can you imagine if this was the final arc? You'd be like, but that was clearly a cliffhanger. No, there's 8 arcs in total, and then there's spin-off arcs. I'm trying to read that right there. It's all in Japanese. I know that's Sue, but I always freaking crap with katakana. Speaking of the Japanese language, we haven't had a word of the day. This was a lengthy novel. And I'm not sure when I'll get around to the next arc either. Possibly late in the year or early next year. It's like after that, it's like, yeah, you want to get right on to the next arc. But, you know, October special and all that as well, in between. But, you know, like I said, partway through that, the way the 4th arc starts off is not particularly satisfying because of it's like I won't spoil much. It just it basically gives the backstory for Takano, and you know, after what Takano did the last thing you watch, and after that is just like, oh yeah, let's see why Takano. I mean, you want to know why Takano ended up the way she did, but at the same time you're just like, fuck that stupid freaking witch. Just like, you gotta take it down. And then it's like, oh, here's like a lengthy couple of scenes showing Takano's, you know, backstory. I wonder if that word's in here, because that word would be perfect. Emergency Manual number 1. If the existence of a terminal patient L5 is confirmed, the Institute Director must resolve the situation before the L5 begins engaging in antisocial behavior. However, they must ensure that the secret remains hidden. To that end, the Director may also request assistance from the Secrecy Preservation Units. As for the Secrecy Preservation Units, they may request permission to fire from the Institute Director if necessary. All efforts should be made to secure the L5 subject is alive, but if that proves obstructive to maintaining secrecy, their life may be forfeited. You know what? I'm not really paying too much attention to this. I want to pay attention to what you know, this thing says, but I want to get the words of the day in as well. I mean, we've seen the ending. I think we can, like, take a little breather now to look for our words. Maybe this will be like split into 3 parts in one. I don't know. Depends on the length. Because we still got, you know, at least one other thing to look at, which is, what was it? The interview with the writer thing that they had replace the all cast review sessions, which were awesome. But they don't have them for the answer arcs, which is a shame. It would have been interesting to see the characters actually interact, talking about the events of the novel, because that was great. So that's another thing I'll do as well, is make my own version of it. But I don't know when I'll get around to that, because that'll probably be in November, that one. Because it would be a pain in the ass to put together. I gotta write a script, and then edit it all in Shortcut this time around, as opposed to Camtasia, which I usually would. It's going to be an extra pain in the ass. Is this word in here? It's gotta be, and I don't think it is. You know what it is? It's a tragedy. That tragedy isn't in this dictionary. Probably is in the Japanese section, but I need to actually know like how the word for it in Japanese, starts. You know what? In the background here, let me just Google any synonyms for tragedy. A disaster could be one. Calamity, yeah. Devastation. Mishap. Yeah, that was a mishap, alright. A misadventure, you could say. The misadventures of Takano and her shitty ways. Disaster, that one will do, if it's in here. Okay, disaster is in here. Saigai. 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 There's another word I was just thinking of that I could use as well, and I've already forgotten what it was. I'll just stick with that one. I mean, we couldn't have tragedy in the dictionary, but at least we got a substitute word there. What was the substitute word again? Oh yeah, disaster. Well, the X could be severe on the 8 level 5, but if that proves obstructive to maintain secrecy, their life may be forfeit. This is obviously the mountain dogs protocol shit, what they gotta do. All times, maintaining secrecy and preventing exposure will be of the highest priority. However, preserving secrecy will take priority over preventing exposure.